Welcome viewers to Historical Journeys. Covered under the old landmark of Stonehenge, a group of archaeologists coincidentally found a store of human skeletons, captivating relics from the district's secretive past. Yet when they investigated, they understood that one was concealing a mind-blowing mysterious. They found a curio tucked inside the mouth of a dead individual for 1,000 of years that could change all that we assume we are familiar this memorable site. An expert investigated the skeletons of Stonehenges and discovered clues regarding the monument's secret purpose. But before we get started, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. It only takes a second, and you won't miss any of our future videos. Let's get started. She has gone through many years breaking down England's most seasoned archaeological destinations, including the notorious stone monument of Stonehenge. McKinley, a bone master in Wessex paleontology, works in the background of well-known stones, remaking the tales of individuals covered in weird spots, and in February 2018 showed up in a Find UK narrative. In it, she depicted a staggering discipline that could totally change the tale of Stonehenge. Stonehenge, an old stone circle situated around 13 miles north of the English city of Salisbury, is renowned all over the planet. In spite of the fact that its particular shape is effortlessly perceived, the landmark's beginnings stay a secret. Early specialists accept that Stonehenge was worked by the Druids and Old Men, who previously showed up in the 3rd century BC. Referenced in Britain, Stonehenge is comprised of a progression of sandstone pieces known as the sarsen stones. There are little stones dispersed among them, and they are called blue stones due to their trademark tone. Some are set up standing, while others are put evenly, making the supposed post-lintel design. Experts believe that the sarsen stones used in the construction of Stonehenge came from the surrounding countryside, possibly from Marlborough, 32 miles away. How did old people groups, who didn't have the hardware we have today, set these stones set up? For sure, blue stones might have come from up to 150 miles away in South Ribs. This only makes the mystery more complex. As a matter of fact, some accept that these stones could arrive at Stonehenge by liquefying ice sheets and moving them the nation over. The idea that the stones were transported to their new home in Salisbury by way of sleds, rolled along fallen trees, put on waiting rafts, and then floated upriver is currently one of the most widely accepted theories. The fact that it was washed away makes it said. What's more, reality behind the development of this grand landmark stays a secret. What's more, similarly as we don't know precisely the way that Stonehenge was constructed, antiquarians accept the landmark was expected for galactic purposes, maybe to anticipate occasions like sun-powered shrouds. It is additionally muddled why certain individuals trust this. As a matter of fact, the stones are believed to harmonize with the rising and setting of the sun throughout the mid-year solstice. However, numerous specialists accept that these speculations are just a dream of New Age. All the more as of late, a few archaeologists have recommended that Stonehenge might have addressed the crossing point of two unique locales that filled in as a gathering place. In fact, researchers have discovered numerous human remains within and around Stonehenge over time. For instance, in 2002, this graveyard is just a mile from Stonehenge and is the biggest Bronze Age entombment site tracked down in Britain. During the unearthings, archaeologists found almost 100 antiques from the site, including gold reindeer gems, tracing all the way back to 2470 BC. In addition, this grave's gold is the first example of the precious metal found in Britain. The accompanying test will permit specialists to study the existence of the Amesbury bowman. Yet strangely, he was not from Stonehenge. For reasons unknown, the Amesbury bowman made a trip many miles to arrive at Stonehenge when this fantastic landmark was being constructed. Curios found in his grave have persuaded specialists to think he was a goldsmith, maybe perhaps of England's earliest goldsmith, and may have helped fabricate Stonehenge itself. We don't know whether the Amesbury bowman was associated with the development of Stonehenge or was just keen on the new gathering. However, the revelation of his rich burial place has revealed new insight into quite possibly of England's most extraordinary landmark. As a matter of fact, since the 1920s, archaeologists have been recuperating incinerated human remaining parts from Stonehenge in the encompassing region. Then, in 2018, archaeologists distributed an investigation of the remaining parts of 25 everyone around 3000 BC who were first covered at Stonehenge. They were additionally present at the remembrance when it was constructed, and like the Amesbury Bowman, some of them made a trip significant distances to arrive. Utilizing a strategy called strontium isotope examination, the specialists affirmed that 15 arrangements of bones were not neighborhood inhabitants. As a matter of fact, the bones are accepted to have come from the bluestone areas of Ridges and Western Britain. Archaeologists also found that some of the remains had been kept in special bags. This suggests that the bodies were moved more than 100 miles from the British mainland, even though they died at other sites before going to Stonehenge. Notwithstanding the incinerated children, interior remaining parts are dispersed all through Stonehenge. Truth be told, one was found in 1923 yet was for quite some time thought lost during an air attack during the Second Great War. This man had an intriguing story. Archaeologists were chipping away at an archaeological dive in West at this point. This account of vicious execution denotes another curve in Stonehenge's set of experiences. However, it won't be the last one McKinley will uncover. McKinley said specialists realize there depend on 400 entombments in the quick area of Stonehenge, and by concentrating on the human remaining parts they can study them, and why these individuals came here. He stated that he is hopeful of expanding his knowledge of the world. In her narrative, The Mysterious Skeletons of Stonehenge, she frequently depicts how the dead are covered in a specific position or stance, or have specific materials. So the thing I'm searching for is far-reaching, McKinley proceeds, since they show me something their lives. Yet additionally about Stonehenge. As a matter of fact, the osteoarchaeologist has for quite some time been wary that the site was utilized a couple of days a year, yet he currently accepts he has proof to help that case. In his narrative, McKinley centers around disclosures produced using a progression of skeletons covered underneath Stonehenge. She goes on to say that the strange objects that archaeologists discovered in this man's tomb were the most fascinating aspect of him. Obviously, valuables are not uncommon next to human remains, but this one is unusual. Most authorities on the matter would agree. Individuals in the past frequently relied upon objects that showed their expert status. So was there an association among individuals in gold that was very much made when entombment metalwork was still in its outset in England? Yet the items recuperated from the Stonehenge bones were of such top-notch. McKinley expresses that to make them required extraordinary expertise and denoted this man as a profoundly talented specialist. These are very much made, and it seems as though you've determined the expertise. However, the ability you've figured out how to transform a block of stone into something useful and delightful. He explains how magical McKinley is. However, while McKinley accepts the strange man was a metal specialist, he doesn't really accept that he was liable for the gems viewed as in his grave. Instead, he claimed that the gold ornaments belonged to a different person who was buried just 10 meters away. I think he implied the wizard. I believe somebody made the change from a stone figure to a wonderful article. Strangely, this is the subsequent individual known as the Amesbury toxopholate, first found by Wessex Archaic Exploration in 2002. He was buried with gold and bronze objects, as previously stated. At Stonehenge, what were these two wizards doing? No, on the grounds that in the narrative, McKinley meticulously describes the examination that followed the Amesbury Bowman to the European Alps. The consequences of this examination showed that this man was brought into the world nearby Stonehenge. As per McKinley, this is a stunning disclosure that uncovers new data about existence in Britain previously. The way that we had the option to show that individuals moved significant distances on numerous occasions all through their lives is extremely fascinating. McKinley makes sense of that. What you have is an association between individuals for an enormous scope, whether that association is kept up with through exchange, family, or a blend of things, the two of which are creative in numerous ways. In the article, the writer exhibits the significance of McKinley's disclosures, which changed how we might interpret nature. Strangely, this isn't the main proof of trackers visiting Stonehenge. Truth be told, records show that many fascinating things were tracked down in neighborhood burial chambers. Today, specialists are as yet attempting to disentangle the numerous secrets of Stonehenge and dive deeper into who fabricated it and why. Albeit crafted by individuals like McKinley is assisting with uncovering old remnants, many inquiries remain. Thanks for watching. If you want to stay updated with our latest videos, subscribing is the way to go. Just click that red button below and become a part of our channel family.